But first, today's video is brought to you by MMORC.com, where you could save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro, which you can get for just $15, as well as Office 2019 Pro and Office 365. And if you act right now, you can get an additional 27% off with my code JOK27 at checkout, and that'll knock the price down on Windows 10 Pro from $15.29 all the way down to $11.16. And of course, they accept a wide variety of payment from PayPal to credit cards to Bitcoin. So be sure to act now and hit up the links down in the description below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joker here. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the Mafia 1 remake, the Definitive Edition, which is going to be launching on September 25th, 2020. It was originally meant to come out in August, but it was delayed by a month, so the Definitive Edition is coming out in September, about a month late. The original was actually released 18 years ago, and today we got the first actual gameplay trailer. Up until now, we've really only seen some teased cinematics and a couple of screenshots here or there, but nothing really that showed what the game is actually going to look and play like. And this was actually, originally came to me as like a leak. Like, people were saying this was leaked online. A lot of websites are reporting it as being a leaked trailer, and that might be true, but honestly, it was posted to IGN over 10 hours ago at the time of me recording this. So unless they accidentally posted it there early and that was the source of the leak, which I'm not too sure on, but yeah, it was posted on IGN, and it says on their YouTube channel that it was posted over 10 hours ago, so I'm not really too sure if this is a leak, and then, if it was leaked accidentally, and then Hangar 13 and 2K just basically gave them the go-ahead. It's like, okay, well, it's out there now, just go ahead and publish it, but it was apparently meant to come out tomorrow. But either way, the gameplay trailer is here now, and honestly, I'm just really happy to see that they have done an excellent job, at least what appears to be an excellent job with the game in the gameplay trailer. And it is a full-on, it's like a 15 minute video. It's got like a few minutes in the beginning where they have a narrator kind of talking about some of the things that they focused on with the game, like rebuilding the entire city and redesigning it in some areas, but not in a way that would sort of take away from the iconic landmarks that were in the original game that came out back in 2002. So kind of staying faithful to that so that it feels familiar to old school fans, but also, redesigning it in a more modern way to give it some better vistas and landscapes. Stuff like that. They also talked about, using their own proprietary engine, the same one they used for Mafia 3, but they, redid audio and renders, and completely new lighting engine was done for this game. I do wish there was a little bit more in terms of comparisons between the 2002 and 2020 version of the game. I mean, there are some bits here and there where they do kind of show like, oh, here's, the old one, and then boom, right in the same area on the new game. There's a few of those. I would have loved to have seen some like side-by-side comparisons, and when the game comes out on September 25th, I definitely do want to, do a video on that. Not only for my own interest, just to see them side by side, but also for your guys' benefit as well, so you can see how far this game has come, which is, apparent that this is a complete remake. It's not just a remaster and up-res or anything like that. They've recreated all of the cinematics with motion capture and all of that. So this is a full-on remake of that game, but sort of staying, staying true to the original, and keeping with the same type of gameplay. They did mention that the mission structures and the beats of the game are all the same as the original, but obviously with modern user interface and controls and stuff like that. So it's just a complete remake that seems to stay true to the original game, which is, I think, what everyone wanted, and I think it's what a lot of us want in every remaster, that kind of comes out. I mean, look at what happened with Crysis 1 recently. They released a trailer for a remaster of that, and it got downvoted into oblivion because they basically did nothing, and in some ways it didn't even look as good as the original game, and there are mods out there for the original Crysis that looked 10 times better than their poor excuse for a remaster. And this is, a remaster done properly. And yes, it definitely takes a lot longer to do. It takes some serious development resources to put a few years into a project like this, but look at the end result. The game is absolutely gorgeous. Graphically speaking, it looks better than Mafia 3, and hopefully the game is better than Mafia 3. I'm confident that it will. As I said, they're sticking with the same sort of mission structure as the original Mafia game. It's over 20 missions that are going to be in there. I'm not too sure about if they're adding in new side content and stuff like that. I know there's new dialogue and stuff added into the story to kind of expand on that a little bit. So for, OG fans of the original, there is going to be some new content there. But for gameplay, I would love to see some new missions and have them put their own sort of things into the game, and see what they could really do also in terms of performance. Hopefully it performs well, too. I mean, Hangar 13, kind of came in on Mafia 3 as sort of like a secondary developer sort of taking over on that game, and they were working on the engine with the same engine as this, and it had a lot of performance issues when the game came out, and it still does a lot to this day, but they were sort of working on an engine that they weren't familiar with, coming in sort of after the fact to finish up a project, and the engine, when they started working on it back in Mafia 3, wasn't even in their language, so they had a pretty difficult task with Mafia 3 to get the game out. Honestly, I replayed that recently, and it's impressive that they were able to do what they did with Mafia 3, considering how much was sort of stacked against them with that game. And now that they've had a few years, to really get more familiar with the engine and work on it, I'm hopeful that the performance in this game will be, better optimization, at least than what we saw with Mafia 3 on launch, because the graphics, the visuals on this are excellent, and I'm really looking forward to it. And the lighting engine, they did say it's a new lighting engine in this, and it does look very impressive. I don't think they're doing any sort of ray tracing or anything like that, but I would love to see DLSS 2.0 brought into this game, especially if it's going to be difficult to run at higher resolutions. But, I'll definitely be benchmarking this game when it comes out. I can't wait to see it come out on September 25th. Hopefully it's going to be good. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. Also happy to see that we got some gameplay in this. Everything really does look good. I don't really have a whole lot to complain about with this gameplay trailer. The only thing that kind of like put me off a little bit was seeing some of the reticles when Tommy is using his gun and firing the weapons. Like the reticle for the pistol he's using is like a gigantic circle, and there's a ton of recoil when he fires the weapon, which is fine. But the reticles weren't my favorite thing in this trailer. It's not gonna stop me from wanting to play this game. And if the game has shitty reticles, it's a small thing in the grand scheme of things. And hopefully the gameplay is good with the guns and everything like that, as you're probably going to be doing a lot of shooting. But lots of recoil. On the weapons, I noticed, like with the shotgun, lots of recoil, the Thompson, a lot of recoil. Oddly enough, though, later on in the gameplay, there's a part where Tommy is shooting, his Thompson or his Tommy gun out the back of a moving vehicle, and I noticed during that clip, there's virtually zero recoil on the Thompson, but when he was actually firing it on foot and running around, there was a lot of recoil, so a little bit inconsistent there. With that, and it does appear they were playing on a controller. It looks like an Xbox One controller they were using for the gameplay that was captured here. Not too sure if this was captured on PC or on a console. I would assume they would want to capture it on a PC so they can get the best looking footage possible. The trailer was posted at 4K, 30 frames per second, so it very well could be Xbox One X footage that we're seeing here with the Mafia 1 Definitive Edition gameplay trailer, but it could also be PC with an Xbox One controller plugged into it. But either way, the gameplay trailer was published at 30 frames per second. I'm assuming they were playing at a locked 30 frames per second as well. So it could either be PC or it could be console. It really doesn't tell us everything, but if I were betting, I would say we're probably seeing Xbox One footage here, which if they're, playing on the Xbox One X at a locked 30 frames per second with these visuals, then I am hopeful for the PC performance to sort of be up to snuff. But very impressed so far, at least with this this big gameplay reveal for the game. I wish it was still coming out in August, but sadly they delayed it until September. But I will definitely be a day one buyer and player of Mafia 1 Definitive Edition. I'll be bringing you guys a couple videos on this when it comes out, benchmarking, as I said, and also do a side-by-side comparison with the original, which I played all the way back on the PlayStation 2 but I just recently picked it up on GOG so that I can capture some gameplay, like cinematics and stuff, so I can do a side-by-side comparison with this, so we can kind of see, you know, how far the game has come, and also some gameplay stuff as well. And we could talk about that later on in late September when the game finally does release. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out here. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on the Definitive Edition trailer, which is available now. I will post a link down in the description below to where you can go ahead and check it out. As I said, it was originally posted on IGN, it seems, but now it's been posted quite a few other places, and they're listing it as a leak, but it's not a leak unless it was, and then they, like I said, they might have changed their mind on when to publish it because it got leaked. It's possible, but it was posted on IGN almost 11 hours ago at this point, so it's out there in the world. You can watch it, and if for some reason it was a leak and they take it down, it's meant to release tomorrow anyway, and of course it's here in this video as well, so hopefully they don't take this down too, if it was a leak. Otherwise, yeah, I might have to take this video down until tomorrow. But otherwise, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another video. Sarah.